Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today it is a beautiful, warm, steamy morning here in Southwest Florida. It is only 82 degrees, but the humidity is just really, really high. It is a great day to be doing what I want to share with you today. And well, what I want to do, let me first show you where I am. So I am in the back side of my garden, and this is a Christmas palm right here. And what I want to do today is share with you mounting of burlap dendrobiums, burlap dens on my Christmas palm. The other thing, I don't know whether you'll be able to see this, but where I am, I can see this. There are mosquitoes all around the lens of my camera. So if you see something big flying through, those are mosquitoes. For some reason, they like it, which is good because they're not on me. At least I don't think. No, I think I'm all right. All right, anyway, I want to talk about burlap dens, and we're going to do a burlap den demonstration. Before we do that, I do want to show you, because I sat down here and I happen to be sitting next to a few orchids that have seed capsules on it. So I hope you can see this. These are some seed capsules that were from pollinations that were done, what is this, 4 months ago. So these have a couple of more months before they're ready to be harvested. So this is Mahina Yahiro Mishima, and these seed capsules nice crosses. They'll be ready to go soon. The other thing that I want to show you is this is Encyclia tampensis right here, and these, I made some crosses and selfs on this plant. This plant is not quite peaked as far as blooms go, but it's pretty close, and the seed capsules are just starting to form on this plant. So I'm pretty excited about this. These are some natives, and I'll take the seed capsules from here, generate a lot more plants, and then I can plant those out in in certain areas that where I'm reintroducing natives. Okay, let's move on then to the burlap dens. This is something that I'm doing because I've had some nice early success with the Burlap Phals. So I've generated Burlap Phals in the past. I showed you previously how I mounted those on a tree similar to, actually, to the neighboring tree behind you. And I've got 4 batches of Burlap Phals mounted on palm trees, and 3 of those are doing really well. So the roots have spread out, grabbed onto the tree, and they were mounted, I think, maybe about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And they're doing well. I mean, you know, when the roots go beyond the burlap and grab onto the tree, that's a good sign. This is rainy season in Southwest Florida, which means this is the perfect time to do that. It rains pretty much every day. It's not supposed to rain for a while here, but this week, or maybe a little scattered showers in the afternoon, but not too much. So when I mount these plants, I'm going to probably hit them with a little water every day if they don't get rained on. But I'm going to mount them here again because the burlap phals are doing so well. We're trying burlap dens. Other people have contacted me, and they want to see burlap certipodiums, burlap cattleyas, burlap everything, and I might do this. So if there's a plant that I have that you want to see burlapped and mounted, just let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to give that a try. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to do today, and let's take a look at the burlap dens that are right here. This is a small group where I'm actually going to be doing a little bit more of a large-scale mounting in 2 weeks. We're going to be mounting around a golf course here in Southwest Florida, and I've got some really big burlap phals to mount. Huge plants, and they're just getting bigger every week. It's surprising how well they're growing, and they're not gonna keep on growing that well because they're not getting much nutrients. They're getting sunlight, fertilizing them a little bit, but it's a pretty weak fertilizer solution. So we got to get them mounted. They're getting too big for just being mounted on the burlap. So I wanted to show you, this is what the burlap dens look like right here. And if you take a look at these, they look pretty good. You can see some of the roots are growing on the top nicely. But the nice thing is when you turn them over, you can see underneath how extensive the root systems have become. And I think this is going to work out pretty nicely. I should mention that this is a cross of Dendrobium Judy Ruth, which is a dendrobium that I picked up at an orchid market in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And so I don't have any pictures. That's not blooming now, so I don't have any nice images of that when it's blooming now. But I do have an old still image that I'm going to put on the screen. The male parent, the pollinia, the pollen contributor, is Dendrobium wulang. That is a great dendrobium that I just really like to grow. It's a huge plant. It's fragrant. It has white petals with a little bit of red in the on the lip of the flower, and it is fragrant. So it's a really nice plant, and this is blooming now. And from this big plant, there's lots of blooms on the plant. So I think this is going to be kind of an intermediate sized dendrobium. Flower color and fragrance, I have no idea, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's give this thing, let's try to mount these, and I'll show you how easy this is to do. So what I use for mounting, and I'm going to put my dens down, but what I use for mounting are these indoor-outdoor rubber bands, and this is a box of like a lot of them. And I use these exclusively in my orchid mountings for my encyclias. There's a Mimi Palmer right here, and for really all my plants I use this. And what I do is I take these rubber bands and I cut them and I wrap them around the tree twice so that there's 2 strands of rubber band, and then you essentially just lift up the strands and place either the orchid or the Burlap Phals right underneath it. And again, the advantage of these Burlap Phals, and the reason that I think that they're working, is because the roots are growing, they're on top of, but more importantly, they're underneath and they're spread out flat underneath the burlap. So when you mount them, the roots are just going to be attached, or they're not going to be attached, but they're going to be just lined up very nicely on the tree. So on this tree, what I want to do is I'll show you, I'll do one here, and then just for fun, I'll do one over here. Now the reason I'm picking this tree and this side of the tree is because I don't know if you can tell from where you are, but the lichens and the moisture is right here. So this is a triplet. You can't see, it's outside the view, but there are 3 palms right here. And this tree is out a little bit, so when it rains, the water comes down this side of the tree, and there are lichens over here as an indicator that this is where the moisture is. So that's one thing, if you mount orchids in your trees, you have to know where the water is coming down the side of the trees. And a lot of times what I try to do, not too much, but I try to do, is go out in the rain, and then you can see the rivers of rainwater coming down the trunks of the trees, and that's when you know, that's why you know that this is a good place to mount. You can also tell, again, because there's lichens and moss in these really water-rich areas. Okay, let's get back to this. So these are indoor-outdoor rubber bands. They're black, they come in green, and they're bands, so they're circular, and so what we're going to have to do is cut them. And again, I'll put the information on how to get these at Amazon, and you get a ton of them. These are 7 inches by 1/8 of an inch black rubber bands. So what you do is you cut these rubber bands, and then you tie the cut ends of two of these, at least with a tree this size, you tie the cut ends of two of these things together. So what you end up with is one large rubber band right here. And then I'll go around the tree twice. And it depends on how thick the branch is or the trunk is. So I've put these things where I'll put 4 rubber bands together, or just one. Just you don't even need to put multiple ones together, 3 or whatever amount that you need. And whatever you do to go around the tree twice, if you want to, and you've got a larger plant, you can go around 3 times. But that's all there is. So this is right here, and I just put the put the rubber bands around the tree twice. You want to have, again, about, the distance here is about 1.5 inches, which is, I think, about 5 centimeters. And you want to, do this, and then you essentially pull this out and place the orchid or the burlap in between these 2 rubber bands, and that's all there is to it. So let me show you. Let me get them down here, and I'll show you how this goes. So I look at them, and so I'm seeing where the roots are. I'm seeing how the plants are growing, and it looks like with this one, I want to mount them not this way, but this way, to have the plants growing up a little bit. But this is really, really straightforward. Nothing's going to fall off my lap. And again, I try to pick, so I'm looking here on this tree, and I think this right here, maybe a little bit more on my side of the tree rather than your side of the tree, is a better place to plant. But we'll put it directly on the side just so you can see what it looks like. So here I'm lifting up this rubber band and placing it here, and then I'm lifting up this rubber band and placing it here. And I don't like how I did this. I think the plants are upside down. So I'm going to turn this over. I don't know when I just didn't pay attention myself and mounted it upside down. Yeah, I didn't pay attention myself. So let me do this. Okay, so this is like this, and this is like this. And I don't know if you could tell how easy that was, but that was pretty easy. And they're mounted on there. They're not going anywhere, and that's as simple as it is. Now what I'm going to do, there's a real moist area further down in the tree that's outside of view, that's just a little bit off the ground, and I'm going to mount my second one there. Okay, that's all I have. Kind of a short-ish video. I just wanted to show you how I mounted these the Burlap Dens. I think they'll do well. Again, this is a shaded location, so this is the north side of this tree. So I think these dens are going to do really well. And if they decide to go around the side of the tree, they can do that. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you like my video and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.